Welcome to our videos about venture financial planning. This first introductory video will be the first of 5 in this series to talk about how one does financial planning in ventures whenever you essentially are starting from scratch. You really have no history. How do you go about developing and thinking through and building financial plans and financial models for the purposes of understanding how profitable and how much growth and the like one can expect from their company or from your company? This will start briefly with discussion about essentially what you try to do with your financial statements and what you look for in building the financial statements. What you're trying to do is develop what are called pro forma financial statements, which means as if the business had been operating, and looking at pro forma statements that you can include in your business plan and your investor presentations. And we looking for, say, 3 to 5 years of financial statements, income statement, balance sheet, and then a modified cash flow. You don't really need a full, complete sources and uses of cash statement because you don't have a lot of transactions that involve lenders giving money and paying back and investors coming in and out and that sort of thing. It's generally a few larger scale investments. And what you're really trying to understand is how well your business is generating positive free cash flow, and we'll talk more about that. So that's what you want to be developing as you go forward. The idea is to be able to have a set of financial statements that are forward-looking, and they reflect what the business potential is, what the opportunities and possibilities for the business are. That's what we'll talk about as we go through and talk about the next in the next 5 or 4 videos in this series. We'll talk about the income statement and how you think about that and the revenue, and then we talk about the expenses and the cash flow. And we'll talk about some of the things that you want to make sure you include. And finally, we'll talk about what sorts of things to look for, what things look good, what things don't look good, what to include, what not to include, and then some formatting discussions with respect to the project financials. So this was the first discussion, brief introduction. Next, we'll start talking about the revenue, and that will be in video number 2.